rapid game number 6, and I'm joining a slightly different time control here, 7 plus 3. This was the Seek by L555. Alright, we're starting off with a Smith-Morra. Although no, not a Smith-Morra, but the Queen D4 line, which is becoming pretty trendy. I never know quite how to handle these. It seems like a ton of different setups are available here. I could play G6, I can play D6, I can play Knight F6, maybe E5, and Kalashnikov / Sveshnikov style. So what do I want to do here? I think the people who play this Queen D4 and Queen E3 line are typically more well versed with probably G6 or D6 and building the small center. The Scheveningen center. And I wonder whether that's what I should be doing or whether I should be playing something slightly different, getting a structure I'm more familiar with. Just spending some time here to consider what setup I should be going for, because it's going to kind of define the course of the game. I don't think there's anything especially wrong with the dragon setup here. I should have ample time to organize some counterplay against any sort of like Yugoslav attack. Okay. I say okay, and now I'm reluctant to do that. So what's the drawback of him playing like this? Basically, I get a little bit of a head start in development. But aside from that, I don't think there's really any drawback, because he has his knight undeployed from G1. Okay, I'm just going to make myself narrow it down between the Scheveningen setup and the dragon setup. Let's play Scheveningen. This seems flexible enough. Now knight f6, now that I've controlled e5. I guess he can play it if he really wants to. Huh. So he was worried about bishop coming out there, I guess, or maybe a knight hit, but... so he wants a Maroczy setup. But now I can start playing a little bit faster. I wonder whether I should be playing a6 or doing without for the time being. Let's castle. Always play a6 later. So now, what about knight b4, making him react to this threat? Knight b4 and d5. Like knight b4, let's say queen d2, d5, takes, knight takes, queen takes, knight takes. And I get to explode the center. Does that make sense? Does that work? I think so. Knight b4, queen d2, d5 takes, e5. Yeah, that's slightly annoying, so maybe I shouldn't be breaking open the center straight away. Although he is on castle. Let's do it. I'm not convinced about this. But let me see how he wants to react to the knight c2 threat. Just try to throw a bit of a spanner in the works. Try to break him out of his comfort zone, his little setup here. Okay. So if e5, should I be playing this? Or maybe knight d7? Or takes e5? Yeah. What about d4 here? Takes, check. d4, queen takes. d4, knight takes, queen takes, check, and takes a queen. I can take back on f6 with the bishop. d4 takes, I take his knight, I'm on the queen. Takes back with the pawn though. d4 takes with the pawn, take with the bishop, I'm on the rook. I'm getting a little bit low on the clock. Let's try this. You can't take with the queen because I just played knight c2. So knight takes, queen takes on f6, bishop takes f6, and that's fine. Knight takes, knight check, king moves, knight takes on d4, takes f6, bishop takes f6, that's also fine. That's an interesting find, I kind of like this. Yeah, I have a bit of a principle where if I get attacked, if one of my pieces gets attacked, before considering whether I should retreat that piece, I like to try to see if I can find a counter thrust. Okay, so he takes, oh no, wait, he takes, no, that's actually okay, right? I didn't realize he can insert the queen capture, that's really bad. But the thing is, oh, okay. So he just wants to make me take back on f6 with the pawn. I thought he was going to take back on d8 and I was going to have to recapture with my bishop. So I don't think I can get away with taking on f6 with the bishop, can I? I don't think I can insert any knight moves. But that's not, I mean, that's not the end of the world. That's okay. This pawn actually does a good job of controlling the knight from f3. Now, so what's the situation? He has a queenside majority. I have the central majority. Maybe I should be getting my king out of the g file and putting a rook on the g file. So a3, I can just come back to c6. I need to develop this bishop pretty quickly. I wonder, maybe I should be coming back to a6, c5. Thing is, knight a6, b4. The knight isn't really doing much from c7. The thing is, I was thinking about leaving the c6 square vacant for the bishop to occupy. The thing is, he gets his queenside play pretty quickly. Okay, so now queen a5, b4, I can take it, and the rook hangs. I don't think there's any discoveries. Well, there are, but takes. Oh wait, no. After b4, his queen defends the rook. Okay, so what about queen a5, b4, queen f5? Seems like my queen is a little bit exposed there. So let's put it on c7. Maybe he wants some bishop g5 stuff here. It'd be annoying. Definitely annoying, given this pin here. I don't really want to have to play e5 there, but I might have to. And I have to remind myself I only have a 3-second increment in this game. Prefer to have a little more increment. So if he just continues with something like b4, what's my plan here? I really need to develop my pieces. b4, b5, do I have any... If he plays b4, b5, I always have the c5 outpost for the knight to reroute to, so maybe b4, start with rook g8. That's just still annoying, putting a piece on g5. Where's my play coming from? Queen e3, what does he want? I'm not sure what he wants. Yeah, I don't know. Does he just want to put a queen on h6? I just played rook g6 there. Queen e3. That also blocks his bishop's deployment. Bit of an odd move. Okay, so I really want to get the bishop to this diagonal here. But is b6 too weakening? b6, queen e4. I can play f5 there. Should I just be hustling with getting my pieces out? Probably. Okay, so b6, queen e4, f5. He doesn't have any checks. Does he want to take? No. Does he want this? I still have f5 there. Seems a little bit slow, a little bit shaky, but I think I'm defending. Bishop f6 or bishop h7. I don't think I should be concerned about. I can just take that back. Queen h6, f5. Maybe queen h6, f5, b4, and his bishop gets on this diagonal. That is dangerous, to be sure. Okay, I have to play this quickly. And now I've connected my rooks. That's very important. Very important. So now queen h6, maybe I can consider rook g7 there, bishop, okay. Yeah, this pawn's a little bit weak. It's annoying. What about... I am walking into some pins here. So let's look at queen h6. Worst case, I can play e5, but queen h6... What was my idea? Oh, knight e5. Queen h6, knight e5, blocking this diagonal. Knight takes, pawn takes. And then I can swing the other rook onto g8 and double on the g file. And once I start coordinating on g2, he's going to start feeling the heat. Okay, so I was thinking knight e5 here, right? Okay, let's do it. And now I'm also opening up this bishop. Am I worried about bishop takes, knight g5? No, my bishop opens up on that square. So knight takes, pawn takes. I don't think he has any sacks. Bishop h7 I don't think is working. And in the meantime, all of a sudden I'm opening up on g2. Actually, knight takes, I can just take on g2 straight away, right? Although that's tricky with a bishop opening up on h7. I have to defend against mate threats. So takes, rook takes, king here to f1. And I don't have time to defend against all the threats, do I? Yeah, I don't want to have to drop back there. I don't think I have sacks on f2 or anything. Interesting. At least he's thinking a little bit now. So takes, ooh, what about takes, or takes, rook takes g2, king f1. Ooh, e4, no, I can't do that, the bishop opens up. In fact, that'd just be illegal. I'm gonna pin. What about knight takes, bishop takes on g2? Bishop takes h7, bishop e4 check. Bishop g6 counter check. Does that work? That's weird. Okay, so maybe just to keep it simple, if he takes on e5, maybe I just take back quickly and see how he wants to deal with this threat. Because takes, if he plays like g3, maybe I can... No, can't sack there. Not yet. Okay. I think I have to take this. I need more time to figure this out, but now if need be, I can play f6 and just really blunt this diagonal. But let's see how he defends the threat on g2 first of all. With g6, I'm just going to double quickly. Maybe I have better options, but what about like bishop g5? Queen's almost getting trapped. What about like this? Bishop f3 with the idea of trapping the queen. That could work. Do I take? No, I need to play this. Thing is, when I take, he plays king f1, and he's threatening mate, and I didn't want to defend against both e5 and mate. So now that this is solid, I can continue with my counterplay. Okay, let's take this, or put a rook on the g file. Didn't really want to bring his rook into play. Maybe takes, rook takes e5 stuff. Okay, gotta be quick. Just make a move. Probably a terrible move. So rook here. I think I'm defending as long as this chain here remains solid. I just really want to infiltrate with the queen. I need to build some time back up too. Might be threatening this now. Yeah, I really just need to play quickly. Rook here, maybe check and just trying to build some time back up. And honestly, I'm not sure who the queen exchange would benefit. It's hard to say. So it's just a time scramble now. Ooh. Ooh. Danger. Take. I think my other pawn can come here, blocking this up. And now this is, I mean, I can take here next. Maybe. Really not sure, but I have no time. Let's do it. So rook here. I don't think he has any checks. Making sure I'm not dropping anything. Because rook here would be mate. So I just need to be a little bit cautious. If here, check. He blocks, maybe I just come behind. Maybe here. Hitting the bishop, looking at this square. Can he take here? No, because I think it's covered. Check. And this, maybe. Oh no! Oh no. I just hung the queen. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Oh, so unfortunate. I think at numerous points there I was just winning. I'm curious about the end too, with this king exposed and the queen against the rooks. -3. Ah. Oh no. Yeah, just getting way short in time. Yeah, so for the majority of that scramble, I was just winning. There's even a little spike here. I can take as my queen opens up. Did he ever have anything substantial here? Sack on h7, really? Takes, and if I take... Oh, it's queen. That's just mate. Oh, wow. I missed that. I was even looking at sacks on h7. I didn't think they were working. But this is definitely dangerous. Like, once he has both these bishops, just gunning down the long diagonals towards my king. So it looks like right around here. Okay, so d4 is bad. Takes. I thought maybe take here, and have to take back with the bishop. Okay, but maybe this can just operate as an umbrella pawn. If he takes back on c3, these pawns are going to be ugly, and I can probably just win at least one of them back eventually. Okay, I'm curious how I should be treating this kind of position with the queen d4 lines. Knight f6, if e5, check. And oh, I'm hitting. Okay, so he can't play e5 immediately because the queen a5 check. And I4. So I mean, this is just a setup. It's just a game. He gets his Moroxy. Yeah. D5 immediately. What about, so takes, pawn takes, queen takes, the bishop's defended. Okay, so I can play this immediately without inserting knight b4. Okay, so given the chance, I should be breaking with d5. And, yeah, just breaking down his Moroxy structure with his central bind on d5. Yeah, if you can get in d5 in these Sicilians, you should be fine. So takes, queen takes, pawn takes. Wow, the engine just really does not like this structure. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be a big deal if I could just get a rook to the g file, but my king is going to be safe enough. But it ended up, yeah, it proved to be just too weakening. Yeah, bishop h7. So I think around the middle game, at least around this part, I was just getting outplayed. I just misevaluated this kind of structural transformation. Yeah, sometimes I can get a little bit too cavalier with my king safety. But here, I thought the way he was playing was definitely suboptimal. Like, once I was able to at least harmonize my pieces, get my bishop deployed on this diagonal, and double my rooks, I thought I had a lot of play here. Yeah, the thing is, I can take on g2. He can't step to h1 because he opens up discoveries with the bishop, but king can step to f1. And now all of a sudden I'm stuck defending this threat, winning my queen, and the mate threat on h7. And I don't think I can defend both at once. Yeah, I'm forced to retreat, and then he just takes here, and this is just going to be terminal. So for that reason, I didn't take on g2. I just try to establish a blockade against this bishop, breaking down towards my king on h8. And then, yeah, from here it's just a time scramble. Okay, so at least I weathered the worst of the storm up until I had no time on the clock. And then I fell apart in the time scramble, as usual. Okay, well, next goal on this rapid series is I have to get at least back above 2400 because this is embarrassing. All right, so that takes me down to what, sub 2350. I'm just waiting until I'm non-provisional again so I can at least determine some better criteria for my Sikhs. Yeah, I mean, the rest of this doesn't really matter because it was just a time scramble. I can take here. There are numerous points where I was winning, but again, the time situation didn't matter. So I need to be better about time management, and I probably could have navigated that middle game better without playing this speculative d4 counterattack. Okay. All right. Well, good game to L555.